Hello, this is Corey.
Hey, Corey, Captain Jeff Klone at Lewiston PD, returning your phone call.
Hi, Jeff. Glad to
How are
hear
you?
you. I'm fine, thank you. As always, all of our conversations are recorded. How you doing?
Alrighty. I'm doing pretty good. So it sounds like, based on what you're telling me, they're going to have lines to do a cap sheet, which means they must be charging this guy with a felony?
Yeah, it was always from go that he knocked out two of my teeth. That's third degree
Right, I
assault
remember
from
that. Yeah,
from where I'm sitting.
sure. No, that's good. I mean, that's why we always send it over to them so they can review it, and if they're willing to not only charge him but do a felony, I think not to get you your teeth back, but that kind of is kind of a bigger deal than
Yes,
just
sir.
a ticket. So that's good. So I looked at. I have not seen the paperwork come through from Officer Lyons. I see he's back on graveyards. Our officers switch every 4 months or they rebid. So he's on graves again. Not that that changes anything. So I sent him and his two supervisors an email making sure that he gets that done as soon as he gets back to work and that he needs to let you know when that is done. So I would
Okay.
anticipate that that should be here within the next week, depending on his work schedule and all that fun stuff, and if he had any up. But no, I did not know that they were going to charge a felony on that. That's great.
Yeah, it's what I was, calling for the past few weeks about. As far as I knew,
Sure.
that they said, yeah, why isn't there a cap sheet with this?
Yeah, well, I think we were just making sure because, like I said, we run into it where, well, they had a verbal contract and the one guy skipped out on it, and so we just wanted to make sure we were good. So that's great. That's what I was checking on that from your other message when I hadn't called you yet, and then I was out yesterday because my kid was sick. So no, an email has been sent to Officer Lyons and his two supervisors to ensure that gets done and to let you
Thank you.
know. And so
I
hopefully it should be here, not in the next few days, I imagine.
I appreciate that. And related to that as well, I have, evidence of greater crimes that I'd love to have submitted. And honestly, where I'm at right now, I don't have the greatest confidence in Officer Lyons. I would like to, give some other officer or somebody else a chance to take a top-down look at this. Because from where I'm at right now, I have at least three either state or federal investigations moving forward, in addition to either this case or the case I have going on in Clarkston.
Okay, and when you say state of federal, like they're not actually being investigated, but they would fall under something like that. Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, I mean, extortion. They said to me that, you got to sign this waiver of disclaimer, otherwise we're not going to give you the title to your trailer. And by the way, you also have to get out during COVID time. And this was at the same time I reported a crime for something else. I mean, that's witness intimidation. But it's, like I said, a larger crime between workplace harassment and catching Megan McCreary embezzling and doing tax evasion. Now, I understand that might not be necessarily city or state law, but that is a much larger federal crime that I have evidence of. And I've already submitted like whistleblower complaints and things like that nature going on. But I have
Okay.
not had one investigator want to take a top-down look at this in the 6 weeks since the beginning of our conversation.
And when you say you submit, like you
Whistleblower
submit it
complaints.
to like,
Yeah.
okay, and
Like
nobody seems to
OSHA,
wanna.
IRS.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Gotcha. Yeah,
Nobody has
that's
investigated yet because it's slow. Government is slow, and I understand that. I have a very strong sense of justice. I grew up as an Eagle Scout. I went into the military. I served in the Air Force. It's not like I have, anything other than wanting for the lady scales to come out and look at this. I'm not trying to look for revenge. I'm just looking for accountability. And I
sure. No,
believe I have enough evidence for them to look at it and say, hey, there's evidence of a crime. As far as Mr. Kevin Munsterman, the owner, and the accounting department, I definitely have evidence of tax evasion. There's also
okay,
evidence of his sister Megan doing embezzling around the first of the
okay,
year. If you use company money to go out and get facial plastic surgery. I mean, each one
Wow.
of these. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. She went out and got Botox, and when I uncovered evidence of this embezzling, I was fired, embezzling and tax evasion. And I've been trying to have anyone from the Justice Department look at this, and I've compiled it all together, and I just put it into a pile, and I'm twiddling my thumbs and waiting, sir. Anyone that wants to look at it.
Well, you know what? Let me talk to the sergeant here at LPD, because I just kind of took over investigations here. I was in patrol, and they shifted us around, and see if that is something that we normally do.
No, I understand.
Because if that may be something we might be, or we can, see if that's something that we can do, or if it's like a. Have you talked to ISP at all?
No.
Okay, let me run it by my guy first. Let him know what you're thinking, that you have a lot of good inside information, and if it's worth bringing in, we can at least maybe look at the case and then say, yeah, this is something we can handle versus them. But he'll be back, I believe, next week. So if that works for you, he's kind of my go-to guy on that, because I just kind of new over here and still learning, so I rely on all my folks.
Well, I appreciate that as well, and I try to appreciate the chain of command as well, and I'm very glad that you got your promotion. I think it's well deserved. But
thank you. I appreciate that very much.
I do appreciate also if you connect me with somebody on your end, so I could lay all this out top down from them and hand over the evidence, and maybe have somebody else start running.
Yeah, let me talk to Sergeant Levitt when he's back and see what he thinks, or who would be the best person to do that.
I appreciate your time, sir.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate
we'll be in touch. Thank you.
Okay, bye.